Am I happy? I think it's a question we all need to ask ourselves, and it's a question that I have been asking myself quite a lot recently. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about, myself. It's pretty much a self-therapy session in this one, but I'm hoping that you can take some pointers away of how I think about my own happiness, and possibly you can think about yours. Hello and welcome back to the Josh Taff channel, your favourite mental health advice / awareness and travel channel. I hope you're doing absolutely splendid today and you ignore whatever that was. Now, being happy is never a simple yes or no question. There are so many factors to consider when you're thinking about your own happiness. Now, I am caught between two thoughts. I am happy about life overall. I think I'm a fairly good person. I think my future should be a fun one. I think, or at least hope, I'm going to go on to do very cool things and help a lot of people. Not to mention that I am privileged enough to have this option. But in another way, I'm not really happy right now. My current circumstances have put me in a place in which I am finding it very tough to be happy. And this video is not a cry for help. I'm not asking for pity or sympathy. I'm putting this out there to help other people to understand their own emotions, to look at themselves from an outsider's perspective, to try and help them, if that makes any sense. Now, as I said, overall, I'm kind of good. I'm feeling positive about myself as a person. I think I have decent morals, perceptions of the world, and a skill set that's pretty cool, like surfing. I feel I have a decent range of opportunities to help other people, and that's what makes me happy. And I think I have the mental strength to take these opportunities and utilize them as much as possible. These are all things that are very important to long-term happiness. And I think I have the large majority of these skills because I've put myself in situations in which I need to learn them. Going abroad for a year, I learned a lot about myself, and that's made me happier as a person, and going through some of the trials and tribulations that I have been through have taught me a lot. And because of this, I feel happier about myself in general and the future and my ability to overcome these challenges. These can all be very hard things to learn. The kind of therapy I wanted to give myself today is more talking about my short-term happiness. Circumstantial happiness, I guess you could call it. I'm not really myself at the moment. I'm catching myself having negative thoughts and being pessimistic and moody and down and letting my anxieties get the best of me. This is not who I am, and there are so many reasons for this at the moment, and I wanted to talk about them. Having an incredible year abroad and having to adapt back to university life is a tough one, let alone the fact that it's in England. I also have lost some relationships that were important to me. I have had a breakup, and the worst part is all of this happened in a completely different world to where my friends are, in university in England. So I'm finding it very hard to talk about my experiences because it's difficult to explain context when they have no idea who these people are, what I've been doing for the last year. And I think that's the thing that's been the hardest for me personally, is that kind of feeling of isolation, feeling like no one's gonna understand what I've been going through. And that is probably untrue, but in the moment it can make it very hard to talk about. But I am working on this. I am actively trying to get better, because I would hate to be in a position in the future in which I look back at my last year of university and I didn't utilize it to the full extent. I didn't enjoy myself because I was too busy thinking about things in the past. And that's not to say I haven't had happy moments. I have great people around me. I've had some really fun experiences, and I'm definitely working on having a healthier routine and sort of thinking pattern. But regardless, it is still hard. It is still an uphill struggle and a process that I need to go through. I'm constantly reflecting on what I'm thinking, what's bringing me joy, what's going to help me in the long term, and also what's bringing me down. What are the things that are making this that much harder to deal with? And that's something you need to do when you are in a down patch of your life. For example, I noticed I was being moody around my friends. And of course, this is understandable. I'm not in a great place right now, so it's kind of hard to act like it. But also, I am someone who likes to bring up people around me. And I was not doing that. In fact, I was bringing them down, and I would go home, I'd feel guilty, I'd feel bad, and this would just add to all the bad feelings that I'm experiencing at the moment. So I'm actively trying to bring my friends up. I'm trying to be positive and Mr. Social Butterfly that I was in first and second year. And this is hard. Don't get me wrong, it is very difficult at times to be so positive when you're not particularly feeling that way. But I'm working on it. I'm getting better. I can't just be a bad friend because I'm not feeling great myself. It was also hard to be honest with myself. I realised that this was just making me feel worse. And a lot of the time when we self-soothe, when we try and bring other people down because it makes us feel better about ourselves, it doesn't actually do that. It just makes things worse, and that was a bit of honest reflection I had to go through. Happiness is very difficult to obtain. In some ways, it's a never-ending struggle. But that doesn't mean we should stop our journey, we should stop pushing for happiness. In fact, I think it's a good thing that you're never going to be 100% happy, because there's always things to work on, there's always goals to achieve, and that's very healthy for us. I am in a rough period of my life, but I am fortunate enough to have great people around me, and also fortunate enough to have the ability to reflect on how I'm feeling, what I can and can't do to make this better. And I think that's a skill we can all obtain. If we work on it, if we look at ourselves with complete honesty, we can all get there. Please let me know in the comments if you have any advice for anyone, if you want to see anything particular in the next upcoming episode, and I hope you did enjoy and benefit from it. I'll see you soon.